For people in the midst of addiction, taking that first step towards recovery is often the hardest. And that's why Local Center is here to get people on the path to sober living. Here with more on how to get started with First Steps Recovery, please welcome its CEO, Josh Bouchane. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
Josh, First Steps Recovery, where are you guys located and what programs do you offer?
So we have an outpatient facility on the corner of Herndon and Armstrong and Clovis, and then our residential detox and treatment facilities are up off of Toll House in the foothills there outside of Clovis. So
tell me how it works. Let's say a parent calls, their kid is in crisis, maybe he's high or drunk all the time. Do they call you and then you get them set up in that sober living situation?
Yeah, it kind of depends. So basically we offer free assessments, and so people can call in and reach out, and sometimes it's how to help a loved one, sometimes it's how to help themselves, sometimes they just have questions in general. And so we want to be a facility that doesn't necessarily just bring people in, but we want to just be an asset to the community and be helpful, because it's a pretty scary process to go through.
Yes, I bet. And talk about the difference between sobriety and recovery. I've never thought about that.
Well, sobriety, I mean, pop culture's kind of defined it from an AA perspective, Alcoholics Anonymous perspective, which is just complete absence of any drugs or alcohol. In a more research-backed model, sobriety is understood as being almost in a state of remission, free from the negative impacts or problems that are caused by the using of alcohol or other drugs.
And so recovery, it seems like, let's say if you do have an addiction problem, it can be lifelong, right? Recovery?
Yeah, so we liken recovery, it would be synonymous to connection. And so what we see is that the cumulative effects of struggling with abusing drugs and alcohol is that you end up being pretty disconnected from yourself, from loved ones, and from the community as a whole. And so when we talk about recovery, it's really being in this state of connectedness to self, to others, and to the community.
Got it. Yeah. What are you seeing out there, especially in our local community, it's Clovis and Fresno?
Well, it ebbs and flows. I mean, obviously we're in the opiate crisis, and in the Mental Health Awareness Month, we see a lot of people struggling with opiate abuse and struggling with overdoses and deaths. You see alcohol abuse still, and a lot of alcoholism, methamphetamines. Now fentanyl's coming in, which is kind of a really potent type of opiate. Yeah.
Yes. And I know you said you've been in this business a long time. What have you seen change? How have people changed?
Well, I mean, I think that people have always sought out anesthesia. They want to be numb, and so the higher levels of stress, and I think lots of different factors, including technology, kind of create an increased amount of stress.
Social media pressure.
So, yeah, and so I think what we see is that the rates of addiction have gotten younger and younger. In fact, I specialized in working with adolescents, and that's how I grew into this business as a therapist. And I started working with adolescents who then transitioned to struggling with addiction, and so I began to specialize in addiction treatment.
Wow, that's incredible. So what do you want the message to be for parents out there, since you mentioned it's just getting younger and younger with our young folks?
I think people need to get help as fast as they can, and we want to be a group or a company that people call and figure out how they can get help. Sometimes it's, they just need some tools, and sometimes the person they love that they're trying to get help for need inpatient treatment, sometimes they need outpatient treatment, and so we offer what's called a full continuum of services, and our focus isn't on just getting people to not do drugs and alcohol, rather it's taking that person and actually reintegrating them into the community. That's what we specialize in. So it's not just getting someone sober, because that's kind of a low-level goal. Rather, we view sobriety as a tool to help people become connected all the way into their community, so they get to hear their loved ones say, I love you again, and be connected to themselves.
So you get to those deeper mental issues, which perhaps could be leading to the addiction?
Yeah, so, and it kind of goes by level. So inpatient detox is where we get them physiologically free from the addiction, and then slowly we begin to treat them on the mental health level, the underlying causes that were roots into why they were needing to numb themselves in the first place.
Yes.
And then we take them from there and plug them back into the community.
Yes.
So.
What do you think makes your program successful?
I think it's our focus on saying, hey, we don't just want to get you sober. We want to take you and connect you. And so that takes a lot of social work. We want to get them jobs. We want to get them into volunteer opportunities, because we see someone that says, hey, it's not that you're not using drugs and alcohol, it's that you are in healthy relationships with your family, with the loved ones, that you're volunteering in your community, that you're able to be gainfully employed or in a full-time education program.
It seems like you've thought of everything, the full spectrum. And on that note, how can we, the community, help our brothers and sisters here in our own community that are struggling.
So we desperately need opportunities for the patients that we have that have really taken that step to pursue recovery. We need volunteer opportunities, so any community resources that need volunteers, we love to put our people in opportunities to volunteer. We need businesses that come alongside and say, hey, we'll hire people and give them opportunity to get a second chance in life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have criminal records.
Right.
And so it's hard for them to kind of step past that and get connected again.
Right, so open your hearts and your doors to people
exactly.
and give them a second chance. Okay, real fast, what's the best way to get in touch, and do you take insurance?
We do. We take HMO, most HMOs and most PPOs, and what's a neat thing is that Mental Health Awareness Month has highlighted the fact that there's parity, and so insurance coverage is full coverage for people struggling with addiction, and that's a huge mental health issue, and they can call us at 844-BIG-STEP.
Awesome.
So that's our phone number.
Oh, the first step is the hardest, so it's a perfect title for your program. And First Steps Recovery, everybody. Don't forget to reach out, especially in this Mental Health Awareness Month. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.